everyone, this is your educator Priyanka Thakur teaching you life sciences and welcome you all on our YouTube channel Gurmantra Shikshaka Granth. So today in this video I am going to teach you about blood vessels. You will got to know about blood pressure and circulatory routes and cardiovascular diseases as well. So this is the last part of circulatory system. After that I will be providing you with the MCQs. So if you want to do your best in the MCQ, so you should also watch all the previous parts as well. Or if you don't even want to watch, then please do read your books, not for me but for you. In fact, I'm asking you, if you don't want to watch the previous parts that you can see in the playlist, you can read your books, okay? But don't be lazy, be motivated. You have to crack the test, and for cracking the test you need to work really hard, okay? So let's start with our today's topic, which is about blood vessels. What is the role of blood vessels? Blood vessel is going to flow the blood throughout our body. All the blood vessels in their walls have three layers. Inner one is tunica interna, then tunica media, and outer one is tunica externa. Tunica interna, as the name is indicating, it is the innermost lining of blood vessels. And this innermost lining is made up of squamous epithelium. We can call it endothelium. Okay. So tunica media, it is composed of smooth muscles. And this tunica media, you will see greatest variation in this tunica media among three different types of vessels. And then comes tunica externa, which is the outer covering of blood vessels, and this is made up of elastic and collagen fibers. So remember, tunica interna is made up of endothelium, which is squamous epithelium. Tunica media is composed of smooth muscles, while tunica externa is composed of elastic and collagen fibers. There are three types of vessels. How many types of vessels? There are three types of vessels: arteries, veins, and capillaries. So we will start with arteries, then we will be knowing about veins, and then capillaries. So what are arteries actually? Arteries are thick compared to others like veins and or capillaries. Arteries are thick, more elastic. They are elastic, that's why they allow stretching and they can absorb pressure. These arteries, they carry the blood from the heart and then leave the heart, divide into medium-sized arteries, which further divide into small arterioles. So aorta, the bigger one is aorta. Aorta is divided into arteries, then those arteries divide into small-sized arteries. Small-sized arteries are divided into arterioles. These arterioles further branch into capillaries. As I just told you that all the vessels have three layers in the walls, so arteries has all the typical three layers, but tunica media is more muscular, okay? Tunica media is more muscular in arteries as compared to other vessels. Larger arteries are called elastic arteries and medium-sized arteries are called muscular arteries. So you now remember, larger arteries are called elastic arteries and medium-sized arteries are called muscular arteries. Elastic arteries will have more elastic fibers than the muscle tissue, and muscular arteries have more muscles than the elastic fibers. So wall of elastic arteries are comparatively thin. So we can say they have thin walls, while muscular arteries, they are more muscular. They have more muscular walls because they are muscular. No, they have more muscular tissue. So when we say narrowing of vessels, when we say actually vasoconstriction, so it means we are talking about narrowing of vessels. But when we say vasodilation, it means at that time we are talking about the increased radius of the vessels. Arteries and arterioles, they will carry the blood away from the heart. Arteries always carry the blood away from the heart and toward the capillaries. These capillaries join arterioles to venules. Capillaries join arterioles to the venules, and these venules then form veins which return blood from capillaries to the heart. Exactly, arteries will divide into arterioles, arterioles will move to capillaries, these capillaries then joins arteries and veins through arterioles and venules. Small venules then form arteries. So, veins. So let's talk about veins. Venous capillaries, the capillaries present toward the veins, venules, unite to form venules, and these venules will further unite to form veins. Veins have thin wall, but they have large lumen, and thus they cause very less resistance to blood flow. Whenever the lumen is not as much as large, then there will be more resistance to the blood flow. Like arteries, veins also consist of three layers in their walls. Okay, but tunica interna and media are thinner than arteries. I told you that arteries have thin tunica media. Thick tunica media. So the veins have thinner tunica media and interna than arteries. Okay, many veins can form valves pointing toward the heart, and this thing, that for formation of these valves from the veins, and especially when they are pointing toward the heart, this will allow the blood to flow only towards the heart. So veins, as I told you, has thinner walls and they can expand to greater extent. So thus they can also act as a blood reservoir, as at a time 70% of blood is found in the blood. Means whenever you are seeing at any time, you will see 70% of the blood is found in the veins. Last vessels we are going to talk about are capillaries. What are capillaries? Capillaries are extremely narrow tubes. They are only one cell thick walls, and these are composed of endothelium and a basement membrane. So these are mainly, actually capillaries also have squamous epithelium and a basement membrane. They have very narrow lumen, so we can say that the rate of blood flow is not as high as through the capillaries. But rate of blood flow is highest in the arteries. These are the important component of vascular system because it is a capillary that will allow the exchange of substances into the blood and from any tissue and to the tissue. Okay, so they are going they have thin walls, and the substances can be easily transferred through their thin walls. Okay, blood normally flows from heart through arteries, then to arterioles, then to capillaries, then to venules, veins, and then again these venules, veins will contain deoxygenated blood back to the heart. When blood passed from capillary network, one capillary network, to another capillary network through a vein, that vein is called a portal vein. If the vein is involved in the transfer of blood from the capillary network to another capillary network, such a vein is called portal vein, and the circulation is called portal system. You will read about hepatic portal system. Blood flow is the quantity. When we talk about the term blood flow, but blood flow is actually the quantity of blood that passed given point in the blood in a given period of time. Okay, so what exactly is blood flow? When we say blood flow is a quantity of blood that passes a given point in the blood vessel. Okay, blood flow, remember, if blood is passing a given point in the blood vessels in a given period of time, this is what we call blood flow. Resistance to this blood flow depends on the size of the lumen of vessels, blood viscosity, total blood vessel length. If the lumen of the vessel is narrow, the blood flow will be resisted. If the blood viscosity is high, there will be lesser blood flow. If the total length of vessel is more, like it is too long, then there will be more resistance to the blood flow. Blood always flows from the region of high pressure to the region of low blood pressure. Okay. And let's talk about blood pressure now. When we say this term blood pressure, when we talk about this term blood pressure, what we exactly think of in our head? What is blood pressure? We will like don't think anything. We are like high BP, low BP. What is high BP? What is low BP? है ना? So it is the blood pressure is the arterial pressure of blood which is exerted on the wall of artery with each heartbeat. So what you know about blood pressure now? This is the arterial pressure of blood. Arterial pressure of blood exerted on the wall of artery with each heartbeat. Arterial pressure of blood pressure. Pressure of blood exerted on the wall of artery with each heartbeat. So blood pressure means the force exerted by blood against any unit area of the wall of the arteries. Remember, the pressure exerted by blood against any unit area of the wall of arteries. Okay, what is systolic pressure? It is the maximum pressure exerted in the arteries when blood is ejected into them. Okay, systolic pressure is the maximum pressure exerted in the arteries. Systolic pressure, when you will see systolic pressure, you will be able to see the systolic pressure during ventricular contraction. So during ventricular contraction, blood is forced into the arteries, and then there is a pressure exerted in the arteries. With the maximum pressure which is at that time exerted in the arteries is called systolic pressure. That pressure is caused due to the ventricular contraction, and you will see average systolic pressure is 120 mm/Hg. Diastolic pressure occurs when these ventricles are relaxing. So there is a lowest arterial pressure. It is the lowest arterial pressure, and it occurs while ventricles are relaxing. It is 80 mm/Hg. Blood pressure is highest in aorta, and you will see lowest blood pressure in vena cava. Pulse pressure. When you will see the difference in this systolic and diastolic blood pressure, this is what we call blood pressure. Pulse pressure. 120 mmHg minus 80, remaining is 40 mmHg. So pulse pressure is the difference in between systolic and diastolic pressure. The instrument which is used to measure the blood pressure is sphygmomanometer. You have seen this many times when doctors are checking the BP. They are also using the stethoscope. So first sound that we heard through the stethoscope is of systolic blood pressure, and the second fainted sound is of diastolic blood pressure. I hope now the terms about blood pressure are clear to you and you're not having any problem in understanding this particular thing. If you have, you can comment down in the comment box. I will be replying to all your queries, all your doubts. Okay, you are free to ask me anything anytime related to your subject, related to your examination. If you want some motivation, if you want some knowledge, if you want to do your best, you can ask me to do anything for you. Okay, you can ask me, ma'am, do this for us, like for regarding your studies. Okay, don't take my words otherwise. Let's talk about high blood pressure now, also known as hypertension. Hypertension is actually a long-term medical condition in which blood pressure in the arteries is persistently elevated. Okay, hypertension can be primary or secondary. When we say primary hypertension, at that time we are not certain about the cause of hypertension. What are the attributes which are responsible for the hypertension? So most of the patients show very high susceptibility for a genetic tendency to develop primary hypertension, and this genetic tendency can then be hastened by obesity, stress, smoking, dietary habits, etc., like anything. Okay, but secondary hypertension is that we know actually for secondary hypertension we know the reason of secondary hypertension. It can be caused due to obstruction of renal blood flow. And you know renal blood flow? Renal blood flow may cause kidneys to release excessive renin. Listen, whenever the blood volumes or blood flow to the kidney decreases, juxtaglomerular cells in the kidney, they secrete renin into the bloodstream. Okay, they secrete renin into the blood. This renin catalyzes the conversion of angiotensin, this what angiotensinogen, into the angiotensin 1, and then angiotensin converting enzyme convert angiotensin 1 into angiotensin 2. This angiotensin 2 is a powerful vasoconstrictor. Okay, it's a very powerful vasoconstrictor, and it can work in two ways. First way, it is a vasoconstrictor. Otherwise, it can stimulate secretion of aldosterone. Okay, this aldosterone increases the reabsorption of not fat but salt and water from the total blood volume. Okay, not blood volume, from the kidneys, urine. Okay, so reabsorption of sodium ions by the kidney increases, and increased sodium level contribute the retention of water, which ultimately increases the blood volume and blood pressure is increased. Epinephrine and norepinephrine also result in the increased hypertension, increased blood pressure. While blood pressure is lowered by atrial natriuretic peptide. Atrial natriuretic peptide are secreted by the cells in the atria of the heart, and they lower the blood pressure by causing vasodilation and by promoting the loss of salt and water in the urine. Then if there is that promotion of loss of salt and water in the urine, then it will not be able to retain the water, and there will be loss of blood volume, and ultimately blood pressure will be decreased. Okay, I hope now these things are clear to you. And let's talk about circulatory routes now. When we talk about circulatory routes, so blood vessels are organized into circulatory routes that carry blood to specific organs in the body. Two main circulatory routes are systemic and pulmonary circulations. What you see in the circulation, systemic circulation, it includes the arteries and arterioles. Okay, arteries, these are the capillaries. Okay, arteries and arterioles, you know about. Arteries and arterioles carry the oxygenated blood from the left ventricle to all the body tissues. Okay, arterioles will then send the blood to the systemic capillaries. Okay, and plus other veins and venules, they will carry the deoxygenated blood and put this blood into the right atrium. Because the systemic circulation supplies blood flow to all the tissue of the body except the lungs, it is also called as greater circulation or peripheral circulation. Okay, so in systemic circulation, you will only see the function of arteries, arterioles, veins, venules, and capillaries, which are which are taking the oxygen. Arteries and arterioles are taking the oxygenated blood to all the parts of the blood, while venules and veins are taking the deoxygenated blood from all the parts of the body and pouring this blood into the right atrium. Okay, so here we are not talking about the lungs. So this is also known as greater circulation or peripheral circulation. So largest artery, as you can see, is aorta here. Okay, this is the largest artery, and the aorta is the largest artery of the body, which is having a diameter of 2 to 3 centimeter, and all the systemic artery branch from the aorta. Largest vein, you can see the vena cava are the superior and inferior vena cava, and among subdivision of systemic circulation, there you will see coronary circulation and the hepatic portal circulation. I will be talking about hepatic portal circulation. Coronary circulation means the supply of blood to the heart itself. In pulmonary circulation, you will see that what? You will see pulmonary in pulmonary circulation, this pulmonary artery is carrying the deoxygenated blood from right ventricle to the air sacs, while this pulmonary vein is carrying the oxygenated blood from the alveoli of the lung to the left atrium. Okay, and pulmonary trunk emerges from the right ventricle and then divide into two branches: right pulmonary artery to the right lung and left pulmonary artery to the left lung. But after birth, only pulmonary arteries are the only arteries that carry deoxygenated blood. Before birth, left pulmonary artery can also do this function. Okay, and 4 veins, actually 2 from the right lung, 2 from the left lung, enters into the left atrium. But after birth, only 2 veins will enter this left atrium carrying the oxygenated blood. Okay, so in pulmonary system, we are talking about the transport of blood from and to lungs, from lungs to heart and from heart to lungs. And in case of systemic circulations, we talk about what? We talk about the transport of blood from heart to different parts of the body, and then from different parts of the body to the heart. When we say talk about, like, pulmonary arteries will have low oxygen content, okay, while pulmonary veins will have higher oxygen content. Similarly, arteries will have higher oxygen content, while veins will have lower oxygen content. Our arteries, where do they terminate? Arteries will terminate where? And arteries will be terminating in the different tissues and organs. Veins will terminate in right atrium particularly. Okay, so let's talk about hepatic portal system now. What is hepatic portal system? I told you that what is a hepatic portal system. What is a portal system? When the blood vessels begins and ends into the capillaries. Portal system is a system of blood vessels that begins and ends into the blood capillaries. Hepatic portal system consists of veins, and these veins begin in the capillary bed at stomach, okay, and intestine, and ends in the capillary bed of liver. So veins which will start from the gastrointestinal tract and end into the liver, these consist of the hepatic portal system. This is mainly a liver actually get two supplies of blood. One directly from the heart, which will be for which your hepatic artery will be responsible. Otherwise, hepatic portal vein. This hepatic portal vein it takes the blood from your gastrointestinal tract to the liver. So all the substances that which are broken down into the intestine into simpler substances, they are first took into the liver before they are again transported back into the heart. So this is the hepatic portal system, in which you study that hepatic vein transport the blood from the gastrointestinal tract before taking to liver, before taking it back to the heart. Okay, this is hepatic portal circulation. Now let's study about cardiovascular disorders. Coronary heart disease. Coronary heart disease, also known as coronary artery disease. This disease develops when coronary arteries become too narrow. And what is the reason for narrowing of these arteries? Actually, coronary arteries are the blood vessels that supply blood and oxygen and blood to the heart. And coronary heart disease tends to develop when cholesterol builds upon the artery walls, creating plaques. That's why the lumen become too narrow due to the creation of these plaques. These plaques are also named as arteriosclerotic plaques. This disease is also referred to as atherosclerosis. Then comes the heart failure, when the heart actually fails. Heart failure occurs when heart cannot pump enough blood to meet the body's needs. It is not like cardiac arrest or heart attack, but heart failure may lead to the heart attack. How? Heart attack occurs when heart muscle is suddenly damaged by any inadequate blood supply. And whenever heart failure occurs, heart failure means blood is not able to pump the enough blood which is required for doing the various activities which body needs. Okay, so when heart failed to pump enough blood to meet the body needs, it is called heart failure. But when this inadequate supply of blood leads to the damage of the heart muscle, it is what we call heart attack. During cardiac arrest, heart stops beating. This is what we call cardiac arrest. So this is all about heart circulatory system. We completed it entirely. Hope you know everything about circulatory system now. Now, if you don't know anything and if you are having any kind of confusion, you can comment down in the comment box. I will definitely be answering to your questions. Okay. So in next session, I have already told you, you will be doing some MCQs. So if you want to prepare for CSIR NET JF June 2021, you can take the subscription of Unacademy. Here is the detail on your screens. You can check out the fee of your course, and if you want to take the 10% off, you can use the referral code Neha, which is the referral code of Neha Taneja ma'am. Go there, follow Neha Taneja ma'am. She is a great mentor. She is going to teach you for CSIR NET JRF 2021. Along with this, you can also subscribe to our channel. We are also helping you out in your GATE examination. And if you want to join us on different platform, then click on the description box. You will get the links to different platforms of Guru Mantra on a single click. You will be there with us. That's all for today. Take care. Bye-bye.